Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at trace rifles, and we're going to be getting into the only two trace rifles that are in the game, other than the PlayStation exclusive one, the Wave Splitter, because fuck you Bungie. We'll be getting into the good things about them, the bad things about them, and if anything should be changed. If you'd like to join the discussion, drop a comment below on your opinion, and now let's get into it. So the first weapon we're going to be taking a look at is the Cold Heart Exotic Trace Rifle. And if you don't know, trace rifles fire beams of continuous damage that are in the energy slot and take special weapon ammo. The Cold Heart itself is a trace rifle that is meant for consistent single target damage, mostly for bosses, but the longer this trace rifle's beam is held on a target, the more damage it's going to output, meaning that you do more damage for staying on target. It does arc damage, it has 100 in the magazine, and fires at 1000 RPM. The Cold Heart is super fun to use. When you're holding your beam down on a high tier enemy, it's cool to see their health just slowly go down in a continuous stream. Also, for a single target weapon, this thing does have some decent ad clear potential. You can just go over and zap a wave of enemies with one mag and they'll probably all be vaporized. Now for a special weapon, this may seem great on the outside, but you gotta think, it's competing for not only the special weapon slot, but also your exotic weapon slot. And for something to be focused around single target damage, it's going to have to go up against Sleeper Simulant, Whisper of the Worm, and 1000 Voices, which is essentially the same thing. It's like a trace rifle. The Cold Heart will just be flat out beaten by things like Ikelo's shotgun, which is just a legendary. Even the higher risk of being close with the shotgun still makes for better DPS and better weapon combinations such as Ikelo's and Whisper and stuff like that. And even a lot of sniper rifles, which is a shame since they are stuck in the special weapon slot. Now I personally don't think this thing is worth the use at the moment unless it gets another crit multiplier buff to compete against those said weapons, but this thing does have a 10 on the fun factor scale. I think something that would help the Cold Heart have some more use or make it a cool weapon in general, no pun intended, would be having an effect that if you continuously hit something with about 50% of your magazine, the enemy that you're hitting has some sort of slowing debuff or it gets frozen. And the longer you hold your beam down, the more of an effect it has on the target. Not only would this give some more personality to the weapon, it also gives some more utility other than being a pretty decent DPS weapon. Now that we're done looking at the Cold Heart for now, the next weapon we have is the Prometheus Lin's Exotic Trace Rifle. And this thing fires a continuous beam of damage, has a sunspot at the end of the beam, it gets bigger the longer you hold the trigger down. Also, kills take ammo from the reserves to fill your magazine upon getting a kill. This thing was made for ad clear or killing low tier trash mobs, but it's very good at doing its job. I would say it's arguably better than the Sunshot, but the major thing holding trace rifles back is the ammo economy. Now I even had special ammo finder on my armor to try and help with this problem, and I was still finding myself running through majority of a strike without any special ammo, since both of these things just chew right through it. And again, these are using our special weapon slot and your exotic weapon slot. If you're using these things for clearing mobs, which is what a primary is used for, or single target damage, what your special weapon and heavy weapon is used for, let alone an exotic special and heavy, I don't think these things have any special place in PvE for the time being. The Prometheus Lens doesn't really do that much things that are special for ad clear that a primary weapon can't do, especially a weapon with outlaw, kill clip, and or rampage. Something I think that could help the Prometheus Lens be a better and more fun weapon to use, the sunspot that is at the end of the weapon's beam shouldn't have a cap on the size. I don't know why it has a cap on it, it may be something to do with hardware limitations, but if you could get that thing to grow to the size of an actual planet, that would definitely be one of the coolest guns in the game. And not only this, I think it should have a burning damage over time effect too. Not too severe in PvP that it's overpowered, but enough in PvE to give it good damage boost, or more of an effect on the ad clear potential. I would like to see these things be better since they're so unique and they remind me of a focus rifle from Halo, but it repeatedly fires. But let me know what you guys think. I want to hear some other opinions about them, or if you managed to build around trace rifles to get them to be even more effective, because I couldn't think of anything to help them get the buff that they need. Personally, I think the weapon should be changed completely to be flat out 1000 in the magazine, and to have it be a continuous stream from full to empty, so they could have constant and consistent damage. There would be little to no downtime between beams, and could help with the amount of damage on a boss, or the amount of ads killed with just a single use of it. But again, trace rifles have a lot going for them. They're great weapons to use and they have some downsides, but the underusage isn't necessarily their fault. It's just that they have so much better options they need to compete against that it just completely neglects the use of them over other great weapons. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, consider dropping a like on the video or maybe even a sub to the channel. I'll be making a PvP video for trace rifles sometime soon, so look out for that. If you want more, I have playlists for builds, in-game guides, and some PvP highlights I think you'll enjoy. But again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.